This episode brought to you by Nicholson Realty 2.0, the Gas City Performing Arts Center, Chuck Sewer, Drain and Plumbing.
Welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Conrad. Let's go. Today we're sitting down with Indiana House Rep candidate, District 31, Katie
Hey,
Robbins. How we doing?
I'm doing okay. The campaign is election feels so much closer than when I say it. I know it's so much closer than when I say it. So we're like in the full swing of things. We're going out and distributing yard signs today, and we have stuff coming up. Like we're going canvassing this weekend, and then postcard writing next week, I think. And then we have a civics lab next weekend with Mad Voters. So just a lot. It's a lot. And my son's into sports too.
Oh,
So
wow. What two sports?
football and soccer.
Nice, nice. Soccer.
That's all he wanted this year was to play football. And
Yeah,
I was like, CTE, I'm a
yeah.
little scared. And
He's playing both footballs.
yeah, so
Yeah,
he seems to really enjoy it, and he loves soccer. He's been playing it since he was 2, so 5
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I wanted to touch base with you and discuss how the campaign's been going, the
Yeah.
fundraising. You're getting ready to start implementing your strategy, correct?
Yes, yes. So fundraising it has been a little bit of a challenge. Well, what is it, August? I think it is August. August is one of the worst months for fundraising. In general, by statistics show that it's one of
Mhm.
the worst months. And also, end of summer, people are going back to school, going back to work, or let's say they have the summer off and, you know,
Mhm.
and I just think money is very tight for everybody because I know I feel it, so I know other people feel it. And so fundraising is going. It's going okay. It's going really well actually. We are giving out our yard signs for free just because I don't want someone to have to pay to put it in their yard. So we're just taking donations. And we've raised actually a lot of money that way, which is a lot like it's kind of surprising to me. So yeah, it's going good. We have some merch and we have ideas for like the next couple months to try
Mhm.
and do something big each month. Like not big, but like something that we can kind of capitalize on and actually fundraise
Yeah.
from. But also I think we talked about this last time. I'm horrible at asking for money in general in my own personal life. So it's a challenge for me. I will say it is a big challenge because I know people are hurting and I don't really want the money at the end of the day. I know I need the money, but like at the end of the day, I want the vote. And
Yeah.
I would rather spend my time calling voters, talking to voters, seeing what they're concerned about and hearing where they are. And it's just the politics of it, I guess, is the money, is the fundraising part. So we're working right now on like getting ideas together to actually like pick up the fundraising, but I don't want it just to be like you're giving me your money just to give me your money. Like I want somebody to get something out of it, basically. Um, so we've got brainstorming ideas that we've been ping ponging back and forth.
Well, you do know that when people give you money, they do want,
Believe in you.
yeah, they
Yeah, I
believe in
know
you.
that.
And I think sometimes there's a misconception that they have access to you now.
Oh, yeah, I completely understand. I know that. And I take and like to me, I handwrite every single donor that has ever donated to my
Mhm.
campaign, even if it's $1. I usually write them a thank you note. Um, because I know times are hard and people are struggling, and I have candidates I believe in that I donate to. And so I know like how that feels to be excited about somebody. And so I genuinely appreciate it so much. It's just to me, I would rather like, and maybe this is the world we live in and like the economy we live in. Like we live in a transactional, like someone you give a service and somebody pays for it. And so I have been trying to like kind of incorporate that. So like family pictures. Becca is a photographer. So we're talking about doing like a family picture fundraiser for like cheap family pictures and donate to the campaign. And it would be edited and all the pictures would be edited and yeah.
I'm
And
down. I'm down.
yeah, that's what, see, I want somebody to get
Yeah.
something out of it, basically.
Yeah.
Like, that's just who I am as a person. And plus, I've been a supporter of candidates before, and I know how sometimes it just feels to be asked for money all the time. And so that sucks for me to do it. I hate doing it. I'll be completely honest. You heard it here. I hate asking people for money. I genuinely hate it. It's a muscle I have been working for 6 months.
Well, if you want to see change, you've got to donate some change.
That's it. I know that's right. I know
Yeah.
that's right. Clock it.
Yeah. I think that some of the in my experience, the door knocking, um,
That's my
what
favorite.
it is really.
I love door knocking.
Because sometimes you get the occasional uh, slamming of the door. Uh,
Hmm.
and with running for school board, when I would do some door knocking, uh, first thing was, are you a Democrat or a Republican? Well, I'm nonpartisan right now. Well, at the
Hmm.
time, I was nonpartisan because you didn't have to claim a party. You still
Yeah,
don't. You can opt in, but you know, uh, they would ask what your stances were on some things, and depending on what you said, they
that's
wouldn't even say
crazy.
bye sometimes. They just,
I've well, not even by Felicia.
yeah, no, no bye, Felicia.
That's crazy. Yeah, I know. I've ridden into that. And people, that's usually the first, well, phone calls. That is usually the first question I get. When I'm knocking doors, it's usually me, the one that's knocking, and I have somebody else with me that,
Hmm.
because I don't want them to be like, "Hi, I'm a volunteer with Katie Robbins." And I'm just like, "Hello." So I usually am the one who like implements it. And I've had some of the best conversations with people that are like fed up. They're just fed up with how things are going and how little progress we're making just overall. So I've had a lot of very, very, very good conversations. And it every time for every like person that seems uninterested, because we really haven't even had any doors slammed in our face.
Hmm.
So to be completely honest,
Good.
Megan and I were canvassing one day and one lady just said, "Oh no, like I'm not interested." And we weren't even near her yet. So we're just like, okay, whatever. And so that was literally it. Like everybody, for every person I've had like not interested or not, not home or whatever, that I can leave something. And if you have a ring, you've probably seen me waving at your ring. But I, you know, for every one of those, I always have a conversation that I can take away every single time. That might be a 30-minute conversation with someone who's walking their dog. And it's enough to just like kind of like remind me, okay, this is why I'm doing this. Like
Hmm.
this is why. So it's been nice. I love it.
Nice. I, it's kind of been something I've been thinking about. What kind of Republican could you persuade, or do you think would vote for Katie Robbins?
Ooh, I can tell you because I have had people who do vote Republican are that are supporting me. And
Hmm.
um I am very, what you see is what you get. I'm that type of person. I am too grown to do anything else. I have too much on my plate to do anything else and to try and live a double life or do whatever. Um, I am very candid about, you know, this is new to me. Like all of this is new to me. This is something I've never done before. But I also see a need and I want to fill it. And but also, I'm for the accountability and the transparency. And I'm like, hey, I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you hate both parties because guess what? I do too a little bit. So like it's okay. It's okay because I am for people and that is really my bottom line is for people. And usually there is something on my platform that they will see and resonate with, whether it's healthcare that doesn't bankrupt or, community over corporations or funding our public schools, like things like that, that people see that they feel in their day-to-day life that they can talk to me about or ask me about, or, I've had someone stop me and ask me if I supported Medicare for all, even though I'm not at the state or I'm not at the federal level. And I have my own stance on it just from like my working as a nurse. And
Yeah.
I also am working class. I have worked since I was 14 years old. I am 30. 16 years I've worked. So I think that also can help resonate with people too. Like I understand what it's like to wait every 2 weeks to get paid and still not have anything left after that and wait on the bills and the spam calls that you don't want to pick up because it could be a debt collect. Like I get it. I've experienced it and I live it. And I think that's something that really draws anybody in, especially like people who have been disillusioned or disenfranchised or have felt that their voice doesn't matter. Like I feel like the way that I approach any of this is me telling people, no, your voice does matter. It does. And like if it didn't, then, you know, they wouldn't try to do these things.
And me as a voter, I want to feel that way. I want to feel like my
Mhm.
voice can be heard. So I do want some accessibility to my candidate,
Absolutely.
whether in a timely manner. If I message you and it takes you 3 days, I'm fine with that. Because I
Hmm.
get you probably are getting message after message.
Sure.
But if I message you and I just get crickets and no response, it's a bit of
Tells
a it,
it's
it it's
telling.
it's off. Yes, very telling and off-putting, and it gives me snobbish vibes.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I want someone that is personable, will hear
Mhm.
me out, and maybe explain some things to me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's all personally, that's all I want as
Mhm.
a taxpayer and someone who is, I mean, I'm a political junkie. I watch things that most people probably never would think of watching, or, I read things that most people never would think of reading. And that is why I feel comfortable to go into something like this where like I don't know everything and I will be the first to admit it. But I'm also a nurse and so therefore I know I will never know everything no matter where I'm at, no matter what I do. I will never know from start to finish what all can consist of that. And so um I think that's something that, stuff changes and it's easy. You have to be adaptable. You have to be able to listen to people. And I personally know just from redistricting that I wrote, I called, and nothing, I mean, you know, it was voted for. And I'm not saying this like against my opponent, it's against her and the senator. I did it to both of them. I called them all the time and to not get that heard, it's very frustrating when, you know, I want a politician that's going to say what they mean and mean what they say and stand 10 toes on that. Like that's it. That's all. And so if you know something is wrong, and to me, wrong is wrong and right is right, wrong is wrong. Like there's no, sometimes there's just no two ways of looking at it. You can't
Yeah,
say, yeah, but like you, at the end of the day, any elected representative is paid for by the taxpayers, and it is our job to hold all of them accountable, whether it's, school boards, city councils, county councils, our state legislature, our congressional people, like that is our job because that is what our tax dollars are going to. And so that is something that I think resonates with a lot of people to just, hear that we have a surplus and we have schools that are asking for referendums, which is fair. You know what I mean? Like it's frustrating to hear we have a surplus, we could fix a lot of this stuff, but we just don't.
yeah,
And that's what I am fed up about. And I know I'm not the only one. And if I am, then I'll live in my little echo chamber. But I am so tired of hearing all of these things that I'm just like, what is that actually helping here? Like kids are going hungry and the kids are without stuff. And so it's just like, what are we doing here? Like the Medicaid waivers and all of these
yes.
things. Like there's so much and it never stops. It never stops. And it's always, I feel like it's constantly.
Something that's not talked about here in Grant County that I'll throw your way
Mhm.
is we are routinely in the top of child poverty
Sure
here in
are.
Grant County.
Hmm. Yep.
And it's
It's a systemic problem, truthfully. If you think about it, we
mm,
don't, I'm a single parent, so I understand where a lot of parents come from, just in a working parent as well. Um, you know, the bills, they don't stop. They do not stop. And that light company will be quick to shut something off. And I know this because it's happened to me before. And like, I understand that. Like I get that. And so like we have got to do something better and we can do something better. It's just a matter of it, the powers that be choose not to.
Yeah, because I remember with my oldest, because she says it now all the time. She's like,
Sorry, I have to turn my light off real
"Oh, you're
quick.
fine." She's like, We couldn't have had this stuff when I was little." I was like, "You're the reason why I have this stuff now.
Yeah,
I worked hard
literally.
for you, and it
Hmm.
was a process that took years. And by the time I am where I am, you're living
Hmm.
comfortable at college, aren't you?"
Yeah. Like, and that's the thing, I think about that. I always joke with my mom. I'm like, it would have been a cold day in hell before you did X, Y, and Z for me, just because, we had on Fridays when we'd go to the grocery store and stuff,
Mhm.
I'd go to Walmart with my mom and I'd be able to pick up a little thing. My mom does that like every other day with Xander to the Dollar Tree. They just go to the Dollar Tree, get blow pops. And she comes in, she's like, oh, I have to take a cooler to Myers so I can get Xander his popsicles and make him back to the house. And I'm like, you would have just you would just got me the freeze pops, the ones that are
Yeah.
already the liquid. Like, and
Yeah.
she does these things because not only just because she's a grandparent and that's what grandparents do, but you know, it's because, we all grow, we all learn over time, our parents to included on how to, you know, my dad always tells me it's a second chance, like to do it over again with the kid, like with my kid, to do it over again, like
Yeah.
my childhood. And it is. And so like, I take that into consideration too. But sometimes I'm like, you just got up, walked across the room, and held that boy's cup for him so he could drink out of a straw when it was next to him. I'm like, it would be a cold day in hell before
Yeah.
my mom did that for me. But it's okay. That's Mimi's boy.
Yeah. Well, I will say this because I have three now, or three total. But
Hmm.
the first one is where it's trial and error on your parenting.
Mm. Oh yeah.
So I came
Yeah.
out the gate, and Savannah says I was a strict dad, but I didn't
Hmm.
think I was. But who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. And my parents, I'm the baby. So, um, and I'm the youngest of five. My dad was 40 when they had me. So like they love me, obviously. I'm their favorite kid. They don't like to admit it, but I tell them that. And but they were tired. They were tired. They done raised four other kids that gave them hell in their own way. And so it's like, but I feel like your first kid is how they say, like, you don't get a manual when you have a
Mhm.
kid. I feel like your first kid is kind of your manual for your future children. Like, okay, this is what I did here, and then you adjust as needed.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's switch gears here. Let's talk the data centers.
Yes.
So,
Oh my God.
we were I felt like we were told these were all rumors,
Oh
and
yeah.
now
None of it's real.
it's come to fruition. I
Hmm.
mean, not yet, but I
But
feel,
for the ball is rolling.
yeah, like,
Hmm.
so what's up with that, bro?
Well, and I think we've talked about this before,
Mm.
the state of Indiana has set a lot of this stuff in motion since 2019-ish. Last I looked into it, like deep into it. This ball has been in motion for quite a while. But now you've got also like a federal government who is wanting all of these data centers, who wants them for whatever reason that might be. I'm whatever reason they want the data centers. They say it's a national security issue, whatever, whatever, whatever. Um, the problem I have with it is our state lost out on $8.2 billion last year because we did not collect taxes from data center companies. That is what I have a problem with. I have a problem
Mhm.
with that. I have a problem with all of it, and it all could be actually stopped. It could have been stopped. We couldn't. It could have been stopped before it got to this point with a statewide moratorium to pause the construction on it, and only it's not a forever ban. It's a 2-year ban that you can at least. I mean, we don't have like an environmental agency anymore, really. Like it was strict. So IDEM, so Indiana Department of Environmental Management, it's pretty much n not. I don't want to say non-existent because it is existent, but it was got gutted. I feel like they doged it,
Mhm.
and not only that, but then also you have that with the EPA where we would have the federal government come in and protect our environment. Um, and it's just not. And I think that there's a lot of stuff that has been overlooked for the past 20 years in Indiana and not improved on. Like, how many sinkholes have happened in the last couple of days? You know what I mean? And like, I have a problem with letting companies come in here, run roughshod over communities, and run roughshod over councils, run roughshod over elected officials,
Mhm.
and I don't want to say run roughshod because I shouldn't say that they're calling the shots. I don't know. This is my own, like, the way I see it on the outside, because I genuinely have no idea. It could be whomever is, rolling over and letting them do it. And that could very well much be the case and not like putting a stop to it. And I think that there's enough data about data centers to know that they are no bueno. Like, I think there's enough out there to see that. And something that is so unpopular, to know that it's going to just I've seen so many videos of city councils voting down moratoriums or whatever, or voting to annex land, and people spending as much time, every single person speaking out in opposition of it, and it is just ignored. And I think really the heart of the issue is a lot of this can go back to the state legislature. A lot, if we're being honest, it can be stopped there. But if the state legislature doesn't stop it, we go to our councils, our city councils, and our municipal government, because they're the ones who would have the say over what happens in their, jurisdiction. And when you have city councils who will do them, like what we've seen in other states, and not listen to people, I mean, it's just another reason like why voting and why being informed is so important, because, you know, that could decimate a data center in Grant County. I feel like would decimate a lot of, especially like Northern Marion, because it's already so, you know,
Mhm.
it's already so, I don't want to say run down because it's not run down. It's just been gutted. Like there's you see empty houses, you see all this stuff, and I feel like it would just be the final push to get more. I don't know. I might be a conspiracy theorist, but I just feel like it is just rural towns like this, and like Marion, Gas City, like rural towns like this. It makes me more sick because I know that these cities and these towns are sometimes an entire family has. Like that could be where their entire family, their entire generation, every generation before them went to that high school. But now they feel like they're not going to be able to because they do not want to live next to a data center and turn on their water faucet and get nothing out of it. So I just feel like we have seen enough to stop it. And it can be stopped. It just, again, people choose not to do it. And it all comes down to voting, truthfully, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest.
And of course, you get the speculations of, are these elected officials getting their pockets lined by these well, I mean, there's like three huge data center corporations.
Hmm.
Um and it is a question, but when it comes
Sure.
down to it, that's like seriously illegal, but I'm sure
Yeah.
there's loopholes and ways around that. Um
Yeah. And I think also too, let me just add this, Conrad.
okay.
I agree. I think there are. I think it is a valid question. I think I said that last time when you were like, what's one thing that you wish everybody follow the money? The money will tell you a lot. Um, Not saying that you're going to see what it is in black and white, but you know, follow the money and watch someone's actions. That's all you need, truthfully, to understand like if they're principled or not as an elected official. And this is just a overall generalization. Let me just say that like it's not geared towards anybody around here, but is overall generalization. Like we have an issue in our campaign finance system that has allowed corporations to have a voice like they would be a person and they are allowed to spend unlimited money. And it is truthfully one of the cancers in our entire society because everything bad I feel like that happens or that people feel, whether it's insurance, whether it's medications, whether it's, you know, data center companies, these companies are allowed to basically invest unlimited money into these campaigns. And money at the end of the day, you know, like we were talking, money
Hmm.
is what you need. Or I think that's what people think. But when you have enough people that can see through the bullshit and honestly just be like, hey, you know, I know that you might say this, but right now your track record says you're doing this. So I'm gonna take a chance on somebody else. And that I feel like we just have a problem overall
Hmm.
in this country. You know, ever since big money in politics was allowed, that was really kind of when I feel like our democracy started to.
I've kind of been sitting in my recliner in my easy chair waiting to see where these data centers are getting ready to throw money at the community members because they know, like, especially right now for Mrs. Cinewall,
Hmm.
we need an operation referendum just to keep transportation.
Yeah. And
And
transportation is so important to working families.
yeah, and we're asking somewhere to the tune of almost $30 million over the span of 8 years. I'm sitting here just like waiting for a data center to be like, you know what, we
Here you
got
go.
this. We got your tab. Just make sure your elected official,
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
passes this
That's,
through.
hmm. And the thing is, and I don't know how you would be able to stop that. Truthfully, just because I have never experienced it. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm not saying that it isn't a thing because I absolutely know it is. And I feel like, you know, we as a collective, as a people, as a human race, should look at everything as the many versus the money.
Hmm.
And y money doesn't vote. Money doesn't cast a ballot. Money might get yard signs, money might get billboards, money might get all of this other stuff. But at the end of the day, dollar bills don't go in and select a candidate, it's a person. So I think once we, as a collective being of people,
Hmm.
understand, like, hey, you know, I'm closer to, you know, what I am statistically speaking closer to medical bankruptcy than I will ever be to being a trillionaire or even a millionaire or even a billionaire.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, you have to have people in office who understand that and also don't and also like make policies that help communities. I mean, and if you look at it, how much money that has been lost over the last 15 years since vouchers were started. So that's not even the property tax bill. Like you add into that, and then you take the property tax bill that literally completely decimated everything, like from local governments all the way to schools, all the way to county governments, like decimated everything. And you know, it's there's no other way to keep stuff to keep doors open or to keep things running if a referendum isn't voted on. And unfortunately, like we people are mad about the taxes, and I get it. I get it. I'm tired of being taxed too, but I'm tired of my taxes not going to things that I want it to go to.
Yeah. So I had a post yesterday that I made for the
Hmm.
Garage Talk Facebook page,
Oh, yes, I remember this one.
the flock cameras. Now,
Oh, yeah.
I've thinking about the data centers and
Sure.
the flock cameras, and I started to take notice. This was a couple days ago because I'd been thinking about this post for a minute,
Hmm.
and I'm not, I'm not so sure if I'm digging this or not. Yeah, listen,
I'm listening.
I wear meta glasses. And you know
Okay.
how many times and I paid a nice little penny to have my prescription put in here.
Period. I know that's right.
And I have people who are like they're looking for you to have these meta glasses and they're like and I'm like, "Hey bro,
I
I,
could care less about you.
this isn't to record you. This is
Hmm.
for when I am shooting content. Like
I'm
if
a
I go
content creator.
yeah, if I go and do a food review, you're getting a POV shot of me eating a sandwich. A
As
sandwich.
a sandwich, as you
Yeah.
should.
Yeah. That
See,
way you're not seeing that mustard that I
hmm.
always get on the side of my
Exactly.
um so for me, um I'm on the fence on whether how I feel about the flock camera.
Hmm.
Now, if we're doing this for an amber alert or a silver alert, I,
Sure.
I'm good with that.
Hmm.
Um, but I haven't went to the website yet and seen how many times my vehicle or my license plate has been flocked, but I'm
Hmm.
on the cusp of doing it. Here in Gas City, they're on the bridge when you enter town or leave town, and I
Hmm.
believe there's one by 69.
There is one by 69. I passed it one. Well, was it 69? There's one on 18 and 69 too.
Hmm.
Not the Gas City
Yeah.
exit. I pass at least four, maybe three to four on my way to Kokomo when I go to
Hmm.
work. And every day my finger goes out the window like this as I'm driving by
Yeah.
because I have so many thoughts and none of them are good. I can understand, yes, Amber Alerts. I do get that. But let's think about this in a different perspective. We shouldn't need, nor have we ever needed. Well, let me backtrack that. How many times do you get a picture from something that they have a suspect that has done something, and that picture is booty cheeks horrible
Hmm.
often? Okay, why don't we look into upgrading those types of things? Why are we getting these flock cameras, which do more than what they say they do? Because it's known that when city governments or their police force or like department or whatever are allowed to use it however they want. They might have all access to it, total access to it. I'm not sure. It varies, and I've yet to really dig into it about
Hmm.
our stuff, our city and county. I have just been kind of starting to scratch the surface on that because um, it is known that multiple officers who have either been in a relationship or have been talking to somebody or have an ex are using it to stalk people. I saw they were using it in Wisconsin against this guy who went to Michigan to get
Yes.
weed.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Indiana friends, I just want you to know there's a way you can look that up to see where if lot cameras are around because
Yes.
I don't put anything really past Todd Rokita. But anywho, um, not only that, but in Texas or Georgia, one of the states with a very strict abortion ban, more strict than ours, which is like a near total one. Um, they're using flock cameras to watch women crossing state lines to get abortions and criminalize like they have already criminalized.
Well, hopefully they're using it for good as more than they're using it for stuff like this because we have issues with sex
Yep.
trafficking,
Yep.
uh,
Yep. I actually
pedophiles. You're telling me
domestic
right
people
now?
who are domestic abusers that get out on bail and then, go to make their victims or, their partner
Yeah.
or ex-partner, their life living a hell. Why aren't we using these things to kind of like watch them, do that, do something with them, do something with them, keep them away from, I don't know what they have to use them for, but use them for good. And
Yeah.
that's not what's happening. And I think that that's something that needs to be looked at by every city and county government to see what anybody who works or lives in a city and county needs to look it up and see what they're
Yeah.
using and like what they're because they get contracts with them. So it's our city governments, not ours per se, but like people's cities governments who get contracts.
Yeah. But here's where, our elected officials come into play because right now, Indiana does not have any laws governing these flock cameras.
Hmm.
Flock themselves made a 7-day deletion opposed from the 30-day. Now it goes deleted, permanently wiped after 7 days. No casual searches from officers must input an active case number to justify looking up any vehicle. AI audit
Okay.
freezes, which instantly lock out any officer that's exhibiting abnormal searches. But here's the kicker with that.
Hmm.
Flock Flock instilled that,
Yeah, not the governments.
not the government, but it can be overridden by the police station.
That's what, okay.
So that can be overridden by them. So it initially is just a hurdle.
Also, I also forgot to say how many people that have been detained, targeted, or surveilled because of Flock or pulled over or had guns drawn on them because of bad data Flock gave them. Um,
Nothing's
so
perfect.
that's also another thing to think about. That I've seen too many videos to be like, okay, this might just be a problem. No, it is a problem. Like it is a problem. They are pulling it's surveilling wrong people.
Yeah.
And um, I'm just like, what are we doing? We are living in a surveillance state. Like it feels like a surveillance state. And
Well,
our government has to put some type of guardrails, or it's just going to be like this. And we don't know what it's being used for.
our privacy is not our privacy anymore.
Hmm.
Um, Sheriff Garcia did comment that the Grant County Sheriff's office numbers are not correct, that they use 12 and have gotten rid of 6 of them. And they're trying to find a balance between public safety and privacy, which is good to know. It's good to know.
Hmm.
Um,
I would like to make sure that anybody in Grant County, anybody who has any type of enforcement, make sure that these are being used for good and not bad. Like, don't, if someone wants to go to Michigan and get weed, I'm sorry. I don't care. But I also don't think that that's what they should be used for. So like think I hope that they will say like something like we are using our things to help us keep people safe and not to watch people's movements and to
yeah,
keep them on under a microscope because that's the thing. It's like you can say one thing, but just make sure that you are also addressing this other stuff too, because it's scary. It's scary as a woman for me to live in Indiana. I've driven my friends across state lines before. Don't come for me, Todd Rafida. But,
yeah.
I don't want that to be used on me one day when they see a random car with the tag and going across into Illinois or Ohio. And so, like, I just want them to make sure that they are using it for public safety and not to watch people's every move. And I think or like no frivolous, did he say anything about like no frivolous like searches by the people who have access to the database?
No, he didn't say anything.
That's something
Egregious.
I would
Yeah.
to be spoken on just because it is scary. I mean, we live in a society where we've heard officers who have it. I mean, people who've impersonated ICE before to get after women. So it's just like we got to keep people safe, and that is the way to keep people safe to make sure that it's not being used
Yeah. Real
against someone.
quickly, we're gonna stick on the topic, but the Lindsay Clancy trial. Uh, we have
I'm out of
no
court right now.
listen. We have no. We're staying with the flock and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
You're to you have a wearable device. I don't know about you, but
I
everything
it's I got a tan line right
yeah,
there. It's
yeah.
charging.
If you wear a Garmin, Fitbit,
Apple
Apple
Watch.
Watch, uh, what's the one for Android, whatever it's called.
Yeah,
They're monitoring your heart rate, what time
everything.
it elevated, your location, your speed,
If you're
your
sitting.
if you're sitting, your resting heart rate.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a digital witness. This
Mm-hmm.
term I've been hearing this term,
A
digital.
digital witness.
You know what? The digital witness never changes its story.
That's true.
Doesn't lie.
Mm-hmm.
So
Numbers, data doesn't lie.
so as
Hmm.
we go along and as things update and change rapidly with tech, eventually everything we do will be recorded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And your thoughts, I gotta ask, what are your thoughts on the Lindsay Clancy trial?
Well, what do I want to have people coming after me? Let me just say, as a mom, I have experienced postpartum depression and anxiety, experienced
Yes,
anxiety so bad that I literally
very
wanted to
real.
drive my car off of the cliff, like off of a bridge because I was just so scared that I was going to harm my child. So I get it. Um, there, as a nurse, I have questions and some things aren't really adding up to me. But I have listened to everything. I'm excited to see what the jury thinks. But I mean, I think that as a mom also, if she would have killed her kids, her living hell is being alive every day. And I don't feel like she'd put herself through this, just knowing the stuff that she's gone through. I think that there are just some things that I'm a little like, don't love that. Some things with the husband I don't love. Um, Maybe I'm being too sympathetic to her as a mom and a woman and whatever. Um, but I've heard the wails of mothers after they lost their children, and it's a sound that does not get out of your head. It is a sound that cannot be mimicked. And I couldn't even try. Like if I tried when they were going over, I think was it Callan's autopsy or Cora's autopsy, one of the kids' autopsy, the wails that came out of her, you could hear her saying, I can't do this. I can't do this. And that to
That can't
me,
be faked.
that can't be faked. That can't be faked. And then just all the other stuff too. I got all the smoke for Patrick Clancy, if I'm being completely honest, because what do you mean you're going to go to New York and do this stuff while your wife is dealing with such like really bad mental issues? And not even that, like she literally said in her book, or in her journal, like, I just want to get back to work. I want to feel like I'm helping. I want to do this. I'm doing so much. And that is the story of so many women in general, but like people in general, like just feeling like you're doing so much and it's never enough and it's never done. Like my work is never done. There's always a load of laundry to be washed. There's always about two to be folded. There's always counters to be cleaned. There's always something to do. And I just, it doesn't sit right with me. I don't think she did it. I don't think she did it. Hot take. Heard it here first. I don't think she did it.
Okay.
I think the husband did it.
D- uh, I'm not trying to rage bait you
No, it's
because
okay. Go ahead.
my wife thinks I'm rage baiting her. I just because he moved on doesn't make
Oh,
him a
yeah.
murderer.
I don't think so.
But I heard a really interesting conspiracy on social media.
Okay, let's hear it.
He's a runner.
Mm-hmm.
He drove his car, parked it, put on some running shoes, ran back home.
Hmm.
They're trying to look at his heart rate on his
See if it
watch.
matches.
Yeah. And people are saying,
Huh. I didn't realize that. I don't I don't know. I'm so like conflicted on it because I'm like, I don't think that that really is what makes me think of I think what if you think about um she was like 82 degrees, which we are 98.6 is our normal human body temperature.
how long does it
Um
take for the body to drop?
quite. I mean, well, and she had a brain injury, so that also plays a part in it. But if she was speaking to him, but then unresponsive to the like EMTs, I'm like, I don't know which one. I don't know which one. Like that right there is enough to be
Would the
reasonable
body
doubt for
temperature
me.
drop within, okay, so if
It was like
she
what,
was,
30 minutes?
so how long did it take for him to call 911 and the ambulance to pull up?
I think it was less than 30 minutes because, well, no, I don't know. Because she was on the phone with him
Hmm.
and then she did that and then or allegedly, like what we know. Um, and then she after that, so it was the time I don't know. I just know that where it depends on where her brain injury is, where it happened, where I thought like the spinal cord, I thought it was like in her like T area or C area.
Well, I know this, and I'm not trying to poke fun at it,
Oh, yeah, no, you're fine.
but some, this guy TikToker said, "You're telling me this man tried to kill this woman 4 different ways and could not kill her? Tried to,
But she was also a nurse. Why did she cut the way she cut? Nurses
yeah,
know you cut long
yeah,
ways.
tried to dose her up with pills,
Hmm.
tried to slit her wrists, tried to slit her throat,
Hmm.
and then throw her out a window."
Maybe well, okay. Yeah. But maybe all of it just seemed to, for him, like I'm putting myself in his head. Like, okay, let's say he did do that and he did try to, kill his wife. I wonder if he was trying to go for the most would be less incriminating, that would kind of check out with her mental
Mhm.
issues. So like an overdose that seems believable to me because it's like she was struggling so bad. They
Mhm.
had her on a shit ton of medicine and she had all access to that. And then and then slitting the wrist, I still feel like even though he might have done that, I mean, maybe he wasn't trying to cause pain or that, or make it seem like, oh, they're not going to be able to tell that this was not her who did it. My own thoughts, or, you know, I don't know. I have so many questions,
Mhm.
and I genuinely, and like I said, people can come for me in the comments. My heart really does break every time I listen to any of it. I really do like Lindsay Clancy's lawyer. He seems very, I don't know,
Compassionate.
like it reminds me of a sweet little papa,
Mhm.
like a sweet little man who just wants to, and he's had a history of standing up for women in these types of situations.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see what the jury comes out with. I know where I came out with in my court
Yeah.
of my public opinion, husband did it.
Uh, I don't
Hey,
think he did. I don't
I
think.
know. And
I,
you know what? And part of me, I went back and forth for a while. I was like, I don't know. Maybe it was just all of her, like maybe she probably did have psychosis if she was having all these issues. And, she might not have told anybody, not saying that that's right, that's wrong, but
yeah.
that could just be the reality. And she might have had like a brief, my dad says, because his cousin committed suicide and tried multiple times before it actually happened.
Mhm.
And my dad always said, I tried to stop him, but I can't because at the end of the day, he was going to do what he was going to do, and I wasn't going to be able to do anything about it. Um, but I mean, he's told my dad he's had like a brief moment of just complete like before when he had attempted before he like had his successful attempt. This was like in the 90s. He had like a brief moment of like psychosis, like This is it. I'm doing it. And so maybe she was in a psychosis and had no, it was like an out of body experience. You know what I mean? And now she's here and it all just really sucks. Really, honestly,
I think she was let down by some doctors and
a
some
1000%.
um
And and honestly, that's how it is for women. I will tell you, because I, like I said, deal with these same. I didn't deal with psychosis, but I dealt with anxiety and depression really, really bad. And it didn't come up until my son was 9 months old.
yeah.
And I went to my 6 week checkup and I filled out the questionnaire and I'm honest about how I was feeling. I was like, my racing thoughts don't stop. This doesn't stop. Like, yes, I have a feeling that I'd be better off somewhere else, like not even just dead, but somewhere else. And it was never addressed ever with my OB until I went back 9 months later for my personal checkup, not my like, well, mom checkup or whatever. And I had a complete breakdown in my office. And I was literally like, I just moved out of my dad's. I just took care of a COVID patient, the first one we've had. My baby is 9 months old. I feel crazy. And I literally just had like a complete breakdown. And it wasn't until my son was 9 months old that I actually got the correct help I needed, the right medications, or at least someone to try and therapy. And it was up until 9 months old. So I don't, my heart hurts. As a
Yeah.
mom, my heart just hurts for
It's a
her.
rough
And even her husband. I hurt for him. And I know some people don't, but I do because
it's a rough
there's their babies.
tragedy,
It's a
and
tragedy.
it's made must watch YouTube TV. So
Hey, I've been in court every day.
yeah, yeah. And
Sidebar.
I've been in court in my pajamas. So
Me too. Listen, jury number, how many? There's 12 jurors, 13 and 14.
yeah, yeah, right there. Right there. I might
Oh,
be contaminated, but
that's fine.
yeah.
That's fine.
Um, but thank you so much for taking the time.
Absolutely. It's always fun to talk with you, Conrad.
I appreciate that, Katie, and I wish you the best of luck. I'm sure you'll be back on.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
that I would like to. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Especially when sports start up.
Yeah.
For real, for real.
Yeah. For real.
Colts
For real.
on. For real, for real.
Let's go. Let's go blue.
Go.
We
Go
signed
blue.
Keenan Allen,
I
a wide
saw
receiver,
that.
and
Mm-hmm.
we'll see if he's still got a little fuel in the
A
tank.
little something left in him,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
Hey, we'll see. I'll
Yeah.
tell Zan today. I wonder if he'll know who he is. Xander knows everything about
Yeah.
football and the Colts and everything. So
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. You have a
you're
great day.
welcome. See you, Conrad.
Bye.
Bye.